Based on the success of the G.I. Joe comic books, in the fall of 1983, Hasbro once again approached Marvel Comics with a new property. At the time, this new property was still in the development stage and there were no characters or backstory. Hasbro simply presented a collection of transforming robotic toys they had acquired from a new partnership with Takara. From there, Marvel began developing the property and eventually turned to Bob Budiansky to continue work on the storyline. Thus, Bob Budiansky can be considered one of the fathers of the Transformers lore.
Well, if you think about the original find of Transformers, they were certainly well-designed vehicles that would become these figures, become these potential characters. But really, Bob was the one that breathed some of the life into them and to become those characters.
What's great about Bob is that he really took on a challenge that most people wouldn't have seen as a great challenge. To take on this licensed property and really breathe fresh life into it from a blank piece of paper, essentially. That should not be overlooked at all.
When I think about Bob's contribution in particular to the brand and through comics, it's, you know, comic books are a tough medium. You're dealing with something that is very static. It's on a page. It's not going to ever move. It's not ever going to speak back to you. So you need to capture people immediately with the actual writing itself. And when you think about those original comics and the 51 issues that Bob wrote, he really was sort of in uncharted territory there.
The success of the first 4-issue miniseries led to Transformers becoming a successful ongoing comic book series. Throughout the series' run in the United States, Budiansky not only edited several issues, but also went on to write over 50 comic books and illustrate several covers.
What he brought to Transformers, it became pillars, like a spine. We talk about it almost as the DNA of the brand. And he kind of brought with him the rich history, sort of the best of the previous titles that he had worked on, but then imbued all these unique characters with that, kind of the life force that was going on in comics at the time.
Many of the original character names came from Budiansky, along with scores of character tech specs, story treatments, and notably, the creation of the Matrix of Leadership.
You know, that is a concept and a story that has really made Transformers not just robots from another planet invading Earth. They have their own cosmology and religion, if you will, and cycle of life and death. And those elements that he added, like the Matrix of Leadership, make them more than just a licensed comic book. They really made the story bigger.
In addition to Transformers, Budiansky has also worked on other important Marvel comics, such as Ghost Rider, Sleepwalker, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man.
As far as I can tell, we'll still be reading Bob's comics 20 years from now, and that's quite a thing to be able to say about anything that's been written, especially comic books.
Like everyone being inducted tonight, Bob particularly was there at the beginning and laid a wonderful groundwork for what we still use today as the cornerstone of the brand. And without that contribution, we might be talking about different names and different storylines, and maybe this brand could have changed along the way. But what we have is very special, and we're very happy to celebrate it and have Bob. We have Bob to thank for a lot of those things.